for you
Hey
three,
everyone, let's
especially
dive
when
into
you have the
purpose driven
mindset to
business,
build a
networking,
purpose-driven
and
business.
making community
So
connections.
definitely, I learned a lot from that whole Amway process, even though it's not where I ended up.
So back when you said you talk about how you never give up, you have a lot of grit.
Hmm.
Have there ever times like you never have ever times like you notice your kid like getting up too easy, you're like, kid, if you don't get your butt up and finish this,
Absolutely. Well, I just tell them like we don't quit. That's not what we do. Like you want, especially my older daughter because she's 14. So I feel like this last year and a half, she's kind of been going through that whole growing pains emotionally as a teenage girl. And there's been so many times where she's said like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. Like this is dumb in regards to dance. And I'm like, no, like you don't want them to move you up to the next class because that was hard for you. And you're so used to everything coming easily to you because you are incredibly talented and you are a hard worker. So you don't get to give up just because something got hard and you don't want to try. You don't get to do that.
what are some like I'm presuming you do a lot of networking stuff, right? What are some good networking events people should attend?
Yes, I'm always going to encourage people to join me at the Renton Chamber of Commerce monthly mixers. I really think that that specific Chamber of Commerce is really good at supporting from within, meaning that all chamber members, regardless of need, will always go to other chamber members to provide them business before they go outside the network. And there's also a lot of openness and willing to collaborate on different things. So that's been really fun to see all the partnerships that happen after the mixers and the new different things that they come up with working together. There's also, if we're very business focused, for Black entrepreneurs, you can always check out Sync Seattle. They are have done a really good job creating a very inviting space, especially to people who are transplants, so that they don't have to suffer through the Seattle freeze alone.
Yeah, it sometimes seems like there's more Seattle transplants than born and raised people in Seattle.
Yes, there has been a huge influx of people moving here, and I can see it in the traffic and the amount of people walking down the street.
Yeah, we're definitely back to pre-COVID level traffic without a
Hmm.
doubt.
Yeah.
Um, then what is this Black Love Market you're involved with?
So Black Love Market is a monthly pop-up market that is focused on highlighting Black owned businesses, Black educators, and Black performance artists. So Black Love Market is the pop-up market that's always featured in our Renton Juneteenth celebration every year. We currently have a contract with the Bainbridge Island Museum of Art to be their featured pop-up market for their first Friday's art walk that happens on the island. And we're working on partnering with the Bell Red Art District to pop up there as well. So a lot of the times, like I said, people will find that specific business online and will ask us to come and pop up at things that they're doing.
So like I'm guessing Seattle has a pretty vibrant art scene, creative scene.
Hmm.
Like, like of course Seattle's known for music and different things, like Austin Mills music. So Seattle has a pretty vibrant art scene, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, they really do. I think that I've been most excited this last year to really find new artists that I didn't know were here before and see different styles of art and different work and seeing people approach art differently. I recently got to meet Moses' son, who is with the Vivid Matter Collective, and just hearing from him and like just getting to speak to him because to me, like he's a famous person for me. Like I'm like, oh my God, can I have your autograph? Just because of the work that he's done and the work that they've done together as a collective. And I feel like people are more free to be themselves here in Seattle as opposed to where I grew up in Maryland. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And what is this thing? It's called Hatchery Co-op.
Oh, the hatchery the hatchery coop, that was like, I believe, like the first little thing that we launched. And that was the pop up market that I was referring
Okay.
to that we did in downtown Renton during COVID. And it's a co op because it was in collaboration with four other women. There was a space that we utilized that belonged to Christy, but she only used it on the weekends to do her cheese class. So then Laura, who was a charcuterie maker, she started renting out the space as well. And then Pippa and I would operate the pop-up market out of the space. So it was a cooperative. And then there was also Annie, who's like the sweetest lady and makes handmade chocolate. So that was kind of like the first little venture that I kind of worked on.
And all these little projects, they're all underneath something called a creative collective.
The Cultivate the
Yeah,
Collective.
that, yeah.
So Cultivate is, I guess, the art, retail, and sales side of the business. Cultivate the Collective is in reference to the multitude of artists that we work with within the collective. And Cultivate, the vision for Cultivate is so large, and I've always had like big dreams and plans for it, but I always kind of felt like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. But I think now in this time and in this space, working with the people that I'm working with, like I finally feel like a lot of those things are attainable. And it's been really cool to see the name recognition of Cultivate the Collective, like within the community.
So, what's a skill you don't have you want to learn either for your business or just for personal reasons?
Um, I would like to relearn accounting. And yes, I would like to hire an accountant, but it'd always be good to have some in-house knowledge just for oversight purposes.
I'll be honest, I was not expecting that answer.
Oh,
No,
really?
no. I thought you were gonna say, yeah, that would be the last thing, accounting, yeah. So what are some things you got going on in the future that really excites you?
So on August 25th will be the very first time I am curating and producing a Latin focused event. I've spent a primary amount of my business focusing on the Black community and advocating and working with them. So I'm very excited to do this to be able to share another piece of who I am with my community.
What's a mistake you made in the past as an entrepreneur that you want other people to learn from?
Mm, Not asking for help. Um, Thinking that uh I think too, like thinking that I had something to prove because I don't come from like a traditional education. And even a lot of the creatives that I work with, like they have degrees. I went to Highline for business and entrepreneurship when I was pregnant with my youngest girls, but I don't have like a master's degree in art, or I never went to school for curation. And I have just taught myself a lot of these things along the way. So I think like self-doubt and not asking for help when you need it have been the big mistakes that I've made along the way.
So what exactly is a public relations firm supposed to do for someone?
Um, Help work on their relationships with the public. I look at it from the way that we approach it with a lot of community engagement. There's been some clients I've had to do image rehabilitation for because their standing with community has not been on good terms for a very long time. And I honestly feel like that's more so my superpower. I am very good at connecting with people in an authentic and genuine way. Um, because I did have to move around a lot when I was a little, and I was always the new kid, and I would never belonged anywhere and never fit in anywhere. And so the survival skill that I developed through that has really played a part in my public relations business and career now as an adult.
So like at what stage should our business be at to start looking for PR firms? Like that's the amount of revenue, the number of people, like when
Mm,
should I 'cause obviously like you're building your business, you probably don't need PR the first couple of years, right?
right.
But so when should a
Mm,
business like start reaching out and like
yeah.
looking at that?
I actually think that it's beneficial at any stage. Obviously, the amount of what you can budget for, depending on the stage that your business in, is going to fluctuate depending on where you are in your business.